G'day, g'day. Well, the videos haven't been coming through thick and fast, and that's because nothing interesting has been happening. But I was thinking to myself, and I was talking to Damo, and we decided some of you might actually find this stuff interesting. Although, to me, I guess, well, to the masses, it seems quite boring. But fixing up cars after they, break, or after going to a show and, something's not quite right, it's just a part of the sport. So I guess we all saw what happened at the end of Power Crew, we all saw what happened at the end of Power Play, and that was that the tail shaft was moving. Damo got some really good footage of him pulling out the tail shaft and the yoke and that out of the rear housing. So I'll make sure we add that into the video, but essentially, well, by the time you watch this, you would have already watched that. So we can show the bearing. Brass bush, not a bearing, a bush. So what happened, man? Like it come out actually on the yoke.
Yeah, it was actually attached to the yoke when we dropped the shaft out. Only explanation I can come up with is because of your, what is it, tail shaft loop?
Yeah.
Pulling to one side.
Yeah.
And there's a mean
So
little...
just in case you guys, well, I don't know if I showed it very well, but the tail shaft loop, it's been fixed now, but before it was fixed, the tail shaft loop was sort of off to one side, and it was so offset, that it was touching the tail shaft. Actually, we'll go over here, we'll show what the actual tail shaft looks like. This section here was where the tail shaft loop was rubbing. So that was obviously putting like sideways force onto obviously both ends, and the one end that's copping half the load is that.
Yeah. And yeah, by the looks of it, it just got hot and got to the point where it actually stuck to the input shaft.
Yep.
And
so it wasn't welded together or anything like that, but it definitely was.
The yoke, yeah.
Do you think it had spun or like?
I reckon it probably had, because it had gripped onto the yoke.
Yeah.
And pulled it out of the housing. So
actually, you can kind of see like the two sort of marks here. Now, there's no real damage to the yoke that we can see. There you go. That's a decent shot of it.
Where it should sit.
Yeah.
And it was there. So, yeah, that's why it was flogging around. The bush wasn't even sitting in the part it should be. So, and just flogging the seal and getting that nice vibration you felt.
Yeah, definitely. And there was a whole bunch of oil and stuff that was getting splashed around. So, yeah. I confess I've been daydreaming and looking at cams and valve springs, solid roller lifters, and a new set of pistons with a 6cc dome. But that's later. But I haven't even told you about that. But we're going to do that. That's going to be later.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah. So we'll probably do that after Rockynats and after all these big shows and stuff. I think we've entered into Power Play in May.
Yep, actually entered,
Yep. And we got a garage, so
first time.
That should be sick. No more sun, and really stoked for that. So that's 3-car garage, and that's you, me, and Brett. And Brett's got the red VG Ute.
One bad badge.
That's all it takes is one bad VG. Oh no. And
that's gonna be good.
the combo in that, you guessed it. It's
Another LS.
aspirated LS. It's got the big pipes, but it's manual.
Yep.
So we'll have to go through that car. We'll introduce the car to the channel and all that sort of stuff, because That's going to be...
We haven't actually had that out properly. We've had it at power play, not really tuned, because I've only recently built the motor and that. We've done a full engine build on it.
Yeah.
Line tool we can, bloody all the shit I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we haven't seen its full potential yet, so
cool.
We're nowhere near it, so it's going to be interesting.
Man, yeah, it's awesome. Like, this channel is really becoming like an LS sort of specific thing, at least at the moment. And that's because they work and they make good power and they're relatively cheap depending on what you do.
Reliability.
Yeah, reliable.
Couple of bashing every day.
Yeah.
There's some other motors one day.
Yeah, man. We got...
There's a 2J happening, a 400 Chev, and
yep.
the Mang outside.
The diesel.
The diesel's one I want to do. 4JJ.
4JJ. I have no idea I still have no idea. I think you showed me like one video and I was like, man, this thing looked like, it looked tough as, but apparently it's just a stock block and they just cop boost and...
Yeah. Isuzu motor, 4JJ1, compound turbo, and send the fuel and boost at it.
I know nothing about it, so it's going to be like full learning curve for me. You're all over it though, so we just got to find a shell and just get stuff together and make it happen. So that'll be in the future. So for now, we play with this stuff.
Yep. And I think, I don't know, we might try and get ready for a burnout comp at the end of the month.
Okay.
We might do a throw together with an engine and...
Oh, yeah.
Another car we've just been given.
The Rodeo. Yep. So that's going to be just absolute slap together, not a big dollar thing, but just something that'll get out there and...
It's sitting at $0 right now with the money.
Okay.
With the motor and the body.
Okay. Well, you got all that to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
Here's the motor and box that's going into the next project car. LS1. Up and forward headers. ECU, it's just going to be a standard thing for now. Put some valve springs in it, and that is a 4L60E. But this is just going to be a cobble together, throw together, have a lot of fun for zero outlay sort of setup. We're just going to get it running, and we'll probably keep those headers on it and then do like a 90 degree straight out the front guards. Yep. Give it hell on the burnout pad. Yep, well, we're back. You can see who's who and what's what. Hey? What's going on, mate?
Oh, just LS shit.
Oh my gosh. What is happening here, brothers? Jesus. That's hectic progress. Far out. Better get out the way. Some actual work happening. Man. Anyway, while the boys are working on that, I'll show you what we got going on over here. We've just fitted up a new uni, rear uni. So the uni that goes from the tail shaft to the diff. That's a 3110 uni. And the old one, I don't know where it is, but we are replacing the old one because it got a little bit damaged. And here's the old one here. So yeah, see there, you can see those indentations where the needle rollers have gone sort of a little bit cockeyed. So instead of being straight on, they've turned like that, and I think it's because one of them fell out. And it's been running like that, you know, for years, I guess. I haven't had it apart in ages, and so yeah, had to replace that. So we just whacked a new one on. So that end's ready to go back in. The other thing that we were doing was trying to decide what kind of extension housing to replace the flogged out bush. So just to recap, I've probably been over it 1,000 times, but where the yoke slides into the back of the transmission was flogged out, absolutely buggered. So we weren't sure on the condition of the actual casing, so I went and bought, without even ripping the car apart, which is probably a stupid thing, went and bought a new extension housing with a roller bearing installed instead of the normal bush. Now here's the old worn bush. So instead of that bush, she's got the needle roller bearing. The dodgy thing about that is that when you run something on a needle roller, it has to be case hardened, and if it's not, it'll just chew itself out. So it'll be like the yoke, if it's a little bit, and I'm not sure what kind of yoke this is, and I don't think it's case hardened. If it isn't, the yoke will just chew itself out because it'll be sacrificial to the rock solid needle rollers in the back of this housing. So what I think we're gonna do, my good mate Mark, who's really been helping me out lately, he dropped down this entire spare rear housing that he just had laying around. We've got a new seal ready to go on, and it's got a good bush in it. So the next step, we're going to reinstall the tail shaft, and we're going to reinstall it with this extension housing, which utilizes a brass bush. And the reason for that is it's what come out of it. So we're going to put the same thing back into it, rather than going to the lengths of buying a chromoly slip yoke, so that we can run the needle roller rear housing. It's an upgrade. I'm going to keep the housing so I can upgrade it later, but that's just an update on the transmission. So the transmission itself is fine. We're going to do like drop the oil or drop the transmission fluid and just give it a service. But once we get this thing back together, the car will be back running and driving, and we can move on to some other stuff. So I might leave it there. We do have a bunch of stuff to do before Rockynats. I think it's like 29 days or 28 days until Rockynats. So I'm getting pretty pumped. We've got the tow car. I've ordered a bunch of stuff for the tow car as well, because it needs electronic brake controller, and I've also ordered a big transmission cooler for the Hilux. So I'll be installing that shortly. And yeah, so we'll keep you updated. Sorry for the boring videos. You know, I know you guys, you want to be seeing upgrades, and you want to be seeing, you know, this car get a blower on it and all that sort of stuff. It is coming, but it just won't be. We want to get out there. I want to get out there and just destroy tires and have a bit of fun in this thing first. So we're gonna hit up. We've got Rockynats, and we've got the May Power Play in Brisbane coming up, and we've got a garage for that. So we're going to have pit lane access, and a bunch of the boys' cars are going to be out, so it's going to be a sick time. Before I sign off, we'll go and have a look at what's going on over here. The boys have got a surprise. Let's turn this off for a sec. A little bit. Oh, fucking now that one's on. It don't matter. Alright, so, Damo, tell us what the hell's going on with this thing. What what are we looking at, man?
Yeah, bit of a slap together.
Yep.
Bits and pieces, free car, free engine. Yeah, why not?
Free car, free engine. Like, how does that come about?
The engine was from wrecking out a Commodore. Ended up paying for itself pretty much.
So you bought the Commodore
Yep.
for like different reasons and then ended up getting the motor and box out of it?
Yeah, I mainly wanted the motor and box, and then just the rest end up selling for what I paid. So
Yeah, right. So it literally is free motor and box.
and then Maddie has donated the body to us like last week, I think it was.
Yep.
But yeah.
So just a party car.
Oh yeah.
So I know the turbos are bolted up and all that, but we're not going to run the turbos straight
they're
up.
just playing around at the moment. They won't be on there straight away.
So just aspirated and 100% stock engine.
Yep. Made of valve springs, so here we go.
Yep.
That'll be nice.
Put a set of valve springs in it.
Right there and throw it around.
I'll give you a look at it. I mean, it's no showstopper, but it's definitely built for a purpose. It's got a pretty bare bones dash in there, and it's already, you said it's already been wired for an LS engine.
Because had one in there. I think it came from the hated Holden wreckers.
Yep, shout out to these guys, whoever you are, if you're watching this.
I think they're down on the coast, Holden wrecker. But,
We got your car. Oh, shit.
it still has an ECU wiring, so yeah, it makes it really easy.
Cool, man. I mean, it looks like, I love the rear of it. It looks tough as.
Yeah.
Like, this is all, I mean, you know, you could get it painted or you could just leave it. I mean,
Bit of black paint should be alright.
yeah, man,
Be good to go.
it's tough as. Awesome. Well, guys, stick around. Like I said, we got heaps of stuff coming, and apologies for the lack of videos and stuff at the moment. There's not much going on, but you know, we know that some of you like hardcore guys, you know, you don't mind sticking with us through these sort of boring bits where we're not out there chasing times or doing skids or whatever, where we're actually building them. So yeah, shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome, and we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't know that there were guys out there who were getting something from it. So thanks again. Yeah, let us know in the comments, like, what do you want to see more of? Man, just anything, just talk to us. I reply to, like, Damo's on there as well. We reply to every comment. So if you've got any questions or anything, just give us a shout out and we'll get back to you straight up.
Any ideas?
Yeah, ideas, like stuff you want to see. Because we've got a pretty well kitted out Damiens workshop here. It's friggin' like, does everything. So anyway, we'll sign it off there. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you on the next one.